Welcome to Tessery, a podcast by Tesseros. Here, we're crafting life with tools and purpose. Through real stories, thoughtful tech, and practical strategies, we help you to master the craftsmanship of your digital and everyday world. If you're looking for a clear place to start learning how to use AI, whether for work, home, or curiosity, this is your guide. Along with building resilient systems and carving space for creativity, we explore where transformation begins, one intentional step at a time. Hi, my name is Monee Nielsen. This podcast started because I look at life and problems a little bit differently. I've always been innately curious on how things link together. And no matter what role I've had in the past, whether it was accounting or bookkeeping or operations or business analysis, I've always really loved the connection and how do things interact and what is the best way that you can make the pieces connect and how are they impacting other pieces. And that's been a role throughout my life is curiosity and wanting to learn and wanting to understand what is out there. And in a lot of times when you're working full time, especially in employment positions, it can be really hard to feel like you're allowed to do things that are outside of your role. And you don't always get access to the technology that you might want to start testing that you're hearing about. And so a couple of years ago, I started looking into this whole AI thing and going, well, what is that? I don't have a way that I can use that in my career right now. And so I decided I wanted to be part of the learning journey, but in my own way. And so for me, what that looked like was starting to use AI at home because from everything I could research, it seemed like it was going to be a really useful thing, and I just didn't get it. I tried to search and it didn't do anything. And I was like, well, I could do this faster or more accurately by myself. So why would I use these tools? Except that I kept seeing it's going to be a big thing. And so a lot of people I know now are getting a lot more comfortable with, say, ChatGPT and different things. But they don't necessarily know what these tools can do. How can they actually help them? How can they get started if they're not relevant for their workplace or they're not allowed in their workplace right now? And so that's what I want this show to focus on, is the true practical, how can I get started? And not just with AI, but with technology. What are ways I can use technology to make my life better, to give me more creativity, to give me more space, more organization, whatever that might be for you? That's what I'm hoping this podcast can accomplish. I'm anticipating a combination of sessions that will be just me. And as we grow, I would love to have my colleagues and friends and other people that I meet or are interested come and share their stories of practical, hands-on ways. Not just, oh, we do this in theory, but like what was the actual search term that you used? How did you do something? The pace of change right now is incredible. AI is showing up in our homes, in our schools. The amount of information that we were trying to process before was overwhelming. And so I want to find a way to help bring calm and clarity and some structure to people who are curious and interested and want to embrace change, but they just need those threads, those ideas of what can we do. I'm hoping that this podcast will give you short, practical, story-based ideas on things like simplifying your life with AI, building resilient systems for home and work, creating momentum, digital literacy, real life experiments, and things that are just fun to try. The name Tessery came from way too much introspection and research into names. The brand of the company at large that we're working on right now is Tesseros. And Tesseros was inspired by the idea of a mosaic because you have all of the pieces and maybe you want to gain more or get new color, but you have the pieces to put down and place. And by the way, the name of one piece of a mosaic is a tesserae, which is where Tesseros comes from. And so Tessery, this podcast, is a spinoff of that parent company, where this is the forge, the action, the story of how you bring your pieces to life. And I truly believe that taking a pause and identifying what are your values and where do you want to be going is absolutely crucial. Because if you have no idea where you want to go, it's very hard to have a life that you're satisfied with. And the tools that you put in place and the things that you're learning about, it's hard to make them feel like they matter if you don't even know you want to be going in the direction. One of the things that I've learned about myself is that I truly am a lifelong learner. I am not passionate about the outcome. I don't really necessarily care what it is I'm learning about. I love the act of learning, even when it's hard. And so I tend to learn a lot of random things because they're interesting, and then maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. One of the things that I feel very fortunate about is that I have a family that is excited to go on this learning journey with me. And when we all share our ideas together, it creates these sparks of interest and enthusiasm that I never would have even thought to try on my own. And I'm really excited to have that happen with this community. In the next episode, what we're hoping to dive into are things like how you might use ChatGPT to plan your week, to do your business brainstorming, to discuss pricing. And we won't limit it to ChatGPT. We will be talking about technology in a more generalized sense. And so there are a number of different AI platforms out there. We'll talk a little bit about the different ones that we're using and why we've chosen those platforms. We'll talk about how, literally how we're doing it. What did we say? Did we take a picture? Do we use voice to text? Do we do voice interaction? And so I'm hoping that as we go through, we'll find these different things and they will provide value to you. If you're wondering where you're going to begin or you're feeling stuck, please send me your thoughts at hello@tesseros.com. Can't wait to see you more. Thanks for listening to Tessery. If this episode sparked an idea or helped you forge a new path, we'd love to hear it. Tessery is built by community. Send us your questions, feedback, or stories about how you're using AI and technology to simplify your life. Email us at hello@tesseros.com or leave a review on the app where you're listening right now. And if you know someone who's looking to craft their life a little bit differently, please share this episode with them. You can find all episodes, show notes, and extras at tesseros.com/tessery and subscribe through your preferred podcast app. Until next time, keep placing the pieces that matter.